When little Liam, born with paralysis, met a tiny puppy, no one could have predicted that this encounter would become a turning point in their lives. But soon, something incredible happened that left everyone in awe. Read on to find out how it all unfolded. After a challenging birth, Mr. Wilson decided to gift his son, born with paralysis, a dog, hoping it would bring some light into their lives and help the child cope with his difficulties. A few months later, the Wilson family's life changed in ways they could never have imagined. On a hot summer day in a quiet Montana town, Michael, Liam's father, overwhelmed with emotions, was searching for ways to ease his son's condition. On that memorable day, as Liam turned 1, Michael decided to give him a special gift that would symbolize new beginnings and hope. Even before Liam's birth, Michael and his wife had dreamed of a grand celebration for his first birthday, planning every detail. But the tough months following the birth shattered their plans, and the idea of hosting an animal-themed party became too overwhelming. However, influenced by the advice of friends and family who claimed that an animal's presence could work wonders, surpassing even medical methods, Michael made a bold decision to adopt a dog. At the animal shelter, Michael was surrounded by many affectionate dogs, but his attention was immediately drawn to a small Chihuahua with deep, expressive eyes. After learning more about the breed, he realized that such a puppy would be perfect for Liam. Its small size wouldn't overwhelm the child, and its innate gentleness and devotion would create an atmosphere of warmth and care. Michael recalled the moment in the delivery room when, surrounded by oppressive silence, he heard Liam's first cry, but the doctors, without allowing the parents to touch the baby, immediately took him to a separate room. He still couldn't forget the cold faces of the nurses, the trembling in his hands, and the feeling that time had frozen in the worst moment of his life. The diagnosis was devastating. Due to complications during the birth, Liam had suffered a spinal injury, resulting in paralysis of the lower body. The doctors informed them that the chances of regaining mobility were slim, though not entirely non-existent. When the doctor suggested an intensive physiotherapy program, Michael agreed without hesitation, clinging to any chance to improve his son's condition. He tried to stay strong, despite his wife's deep despair, as she blamed herself, even though the experts assured her she had done everything right. Postpartum depression consumed her, and she struggled to even engage with Liam, avoiding any activities with him. Michael worked late into the night to cover the rising medical bills, while his wife spent her days at home, watching Liam, who received little physical activity. When the idea of adopting a dog came up again, his wife reacted with indifference, but Michael was convinced that a four-legged friend could bring joy to his son and offer her some relief from constant worries. The moment his eyes met the Chihuahuas, he felt an inexplicable connection with the little creature. Michael researched the breed's traits, its affectionate nature, compact size, and ability to stimulate movement even in children with limited mobility, aiding in muscle development and encouraging movement. With a mix of excitement and hope, he signed the adoption papers, completed the paperwork, and paid the fees, knowing this step could mark the beginning of a new chapter for his family. Before heading home, Michael stopped by a local bakery to buy a birthday cake for Liam. That day was meant to be special, despite the absence of the grand celebration they had once planned. With the cake and the puppy, whom he named Oliver, Michael returned home, facing his wife's disapproving look, concerned about the added responsibility. He explained that he had hired an assistant to care for the dog in the mornings while he would take on the evening walks, ensuring Liam could play and get the physical activity he needed. His words, filled with care, gradually softened her attitude, and though she still had doubts, Michael went to his son's room. Liam, holding a stuffed toy, was babbling as if sensing the changes about to come. Soon, Oliver became a full-fledged member of the family. The puppy barked happily, greeting Michael in the living room, and Liam's eyes lit up with delight as the little boy reached out to pet his new friend. Over time, Michael took on the morning feeding of Oliver before work, while the assistant managed the food and water supplies. Even the wife, seeing how her son was coming to life, began to smile more often. Liam, once quiet and withdrawn, started laughing, asking his father to place him on the floor to play with Oliver, and his babbling became increasingly coherent. Regular physiotherapy sessions, held 3 times a week, noticeably improved the child's condition, and soon the wife even suggested a family walk around the neighborhood. It was then that she chose the name Oliver for the puppy, a name that became a symbol of a fresh start for their family. With time, Liam began sitting more confidently, reaching for Oliver who, understanding the child's limitations, patiently waited as he moved toward his toys. The doctor enthusiastically reported that Liam's muscles were strengthening and his legs were gradually gaining strength. Michael felt profound gratitude for the little dog, who had become a true source of healing, giving the family hope and faith in a brighter future. A true miracle occurred when Liam, at 18 months, stood on his own for the first time. Michael received a video call that made his heart race. In the video, Liam was crawling after Oliver, while the puppy, holding a ball in its mouth, played with him, encouraging the little boy to move. Though Liam's legs were still weak, he kept laughing and trying to move forward. That evening, the family celebrated this milestone with another party and cake, and the wife's face lit up with a genuine smile for the first time in a long while. But the challenges didn't end there. One quiet Saturday morning, as Liam and Oliver played in the living room, the peace of the house was disrupted by the puppy's persistent barking. Michael, setting his book aside, hurried to the room to see what was happening. Oliver led him to Liam, who was already standing on his own, astonishing everyone. The little boy, with tear-streaked cheeks, quietly asked, "Dad, are you sad?" But then smiled and resumed playing. Michael, barely holding back his emotions, went to his wife, who, stepping out of the shower, couldn't hold back her tears as she realized the significance of the moment. Liam, taking unsteady steps, walked toward his mother, and Oliver, matching his pace, helped the child maintain balance, letting out a soft but confident bark. This moment was a turning point. The little Chihuahua, adopted from the shelter a year ago, helped Liam learn to walk, brought joy back to the mother, and united the family. This concluded the story of how a small pet became a true miracle, helping a family overcome challenges and find hope. Would you trust such a path, as Michael did? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for reading, and see you in our next inspiring stories.